Listen to this real quick. So you may or may not be familiar about a situation that's happening, and there's a feral hog problem around these communities. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I know the city of Roanoke is actively looking to pay professional hunters to take out some of the hogs. And the reason I want to talk about this is there's a lot of hunters out there, including myself, that would love more access to hunting property. Now, I understand the fine line between working with homeowners and hunters. You see, I'm a real estate agent. I've been selling homes in these areas for over 20 years. And whenever I sell a home to somebody that's close to these properties, I explain to them what's going to happen, especially come September. You're going to hear some gunshots. You might see people walking through the woods in camouflage. Don't freak out. These aren't your average hunters. Now, I also know that there's people that put in to take access away from hunters, knowing that they're not going to hunt on the property. And the problem with folks like you is if you do that, you think you're getting rid of the hunters, but you're not getting rid of the hunters. You're just changing the type of hunter. Because like I said, if there's not people like me out in these woods shooting the feral hogs, the cities are going to pay professional hunters to come out and trap and shoot the hogs, however they do it. Some might even use poison, and I'm not a big fan of that. Now, with this bow right here, last week, in about a 5-hour span,
Right.
I killed 4 pigs. But the hardest part is, the animals know where we can and can't hunt, and they pile up on the properties that are tucked up in the subdivisions that we're not able to hunt on. So 2 things I think need to happen. 1, the community needs to work with the hunters, and the hunters need to work with the community. And what I mean by this is, if you live in a home that backs up to these properties, stop giving us so much problems. Let us hunt. We enjoy it. And by the way, it's against the law to actually harass hunters. Second of all, if you're fortunate enough to have access, I swear I hear something over here. If you're fortunate enough to have access to these, if you're fortunate enough to have access to this property and you see homeowners, then you need to extend grace. You need to explain to them about the process and understand that some of them are going to be rude to you, but it's your job as a hunter. But it's your job as a hunter to try to educate these folks. And I think if we work together, we can save the city taxpayer money, because there's no reason to pay for these professional hunters when there's so many able hunters out there that will jump through certain hoops to get access to these properties.